Again, the tree in the background looks so nice. Uh, but the movie for October 29th. Oh, this is a good one. This is one of my favorites, honestly. One of my all-time favorites. So forgive the blushing and whatnot throughout the movie, and forgive the rambling, because I mean, again, it's kind of hard sometimes, to talk about the things you like. It's sort of vulnerable exposing that, because there's always the fear of it being taken like advantage of or people not accepting it. But I feel like this one's a bit easier just because it's so widely liked, right? I mean, of course, we're talking about Shaun of the Dead. Man, again, but that's like the thing. I'll try to contain it just to Shaun, but just all of that Edgar Wright stuff, man. I mean, specifically this like Cornetto trilogy, talking Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and last one, World's End. Uh, Man, just endlessly funny, endlessly rewatchable, all three of them. And then his other stuff too. Just shares a lot of the similarities, like the humor, the editing. But just speaking on Shaun, man, really really funny. Uh, and straight off the bat too. But that's what I like. It's sort of weird, I talk about being engaged with the movie and just focusing in on it. Oh, my finger's a bit red. Easy joke, right? Got a bit of red on you. Got red on you. Also, just like really referential because it's so funny. But no, what I wanted to say is about like the attention, right? This is a movie, just because of like how good the writing is, how good the acting is, and how much of like a brisk pace it has. It it really rewards your engagement and like attention to detail, right? I mean, with all of those things, jokes are coming in at you so fast, so if you're not paying attention, you miss them. But that's why a rewatch is good, because you can pick up on the things you missed, whether it be just like something in the writing, like by like character interaction or anything like that, or like a physical joke, right? There's like a ton of physical comedy in this. Um, but yeah, this is just a movie that like really rewards that attention. So if you're just like giving it, then just be prepared to like laugh and and just like be with the movie, right? It's like so engaging in that way. Uh, I was gonna say, yeah, and like it doesn't like necessarily even like demand the attention either. It like really earns it. So that's really like respectable. Um, yeah, I'm just gonna talk about how funny it is. Just like some of my favorite jokes throughout the movie. Uh, Again, like whenever I talk about like the attention being rewarded, one of the first jokes in the movie is the girlfriend, Liz. Like she says to Shaun, she's like, "Oh well, like us having our friends around only like exacerbate things." And then Shaun really quickly just says, what does that mean?" And then she thinks like she's referring to like how that kind of messes up their situation, but he's asking for the actual definition of the word exacerbate, and that word comes up over and over again, especially towards the end. uh, but I mean, again, so if you're paying attention, those are just like really funny, like callbacks to this moment at the very beginning. um, yeah, just like, and also just like really good setups as well. I mean, you think about like a character like David and Dee, and like their relationship to Liz, and then their relationship to each other. There's something with that group, and it's established really apparently like super early on, and it only gets added onto and explained as the movie goes on. Um, yeah, just like a bunch of funny jokes about like David like trying to get with like Liz the whole time, so he's like constantly putting Shaun down, and everybody just like sees right through it. You know what I mean? It's so apparent that David wanted to be with Liz, and that gets explored like through humor, but then also very seriously. Just I guess talking about like relationship dynamics and how that affects individuals. Especially with like Dee, she feels like she's been sidelined by David in favor of Liz, and how that affects her, and that truly comes to light at the very end. And it's weird talking about that, right? And I guess it's a decent segue, but um, I want to come back to the humor, but I also want to touch on a lot of like the seriousness and heart this movie has. I mean, again, like what I said, talking about relationships, but I think, specifically like Shaun's relationship to his mom and Shaun's relationship to his stepdad, which like gets a huge payoff by the end of it. Again, it's like a reoccurring joke that every single time someone says, "Oh, hey Shaun, your dad's here for you," and he always corrects it immediately and says stepdad. And then by the time the stepdad passes away, that's when Shaun realizes how much of like a father figure he's been to him. and and it's a really nice moment, very very like Sam Raimi Spider-Man 1, right? The relationship between like Uncle Ben and Peter, and that how that kind of gets like resolved by the end of the movie. So similar, or it gives me thoughts about that. Obviously not like a direct reference or anything like that, obviously, but it's just kind of what it makes me feel, like the same emotions, right? But I love that part a lot, and I mean, again, with the acting, right? Like Simon Pegg, he really sells that moment. A lot of his more like sentimental moments are like really powerful. He's very good. Um, and then same with everybody else, whether it be like sadness or what's the word? I guess more like scared emotions, right? Uncertainty about like the current situation there, and so it makes him a bit hysterical. Everybody's very good. Um, but yeah, so I guess that's like a serious aspect of the film. Obviously, this like friendship between Simon Pegg and Nick Frost's character, Ed and Shaun. Uh, their relationship, exploring that, and it's a bit of like a toxic friendship in a way. They kind of use each other a lot of the time, but at its core, it is like a very just good friendship, and it's built on a lot. Um, but again, just like taken super seriously and explored like sort of deeply. Again, if you're willing to engage in it, but as I've said, like the movie engages you, so it's kind of hard not to like understand like the position of everybody. But going back to the humor specifically, uh, just some other jokes I like, mainly with the editing. There's like so many just like really funny edits. I mean, again, like close to the very beginning, right? Sean walking to the store, and then that's like replayed after his drunken night with Ed. Very funny, and again, like rewards the attention, right? You see like all the little details, like how they kind of mimic each other, but obviously one is just like in the real world setting, and then the other one's like after this apocalypse has happened, but they're still like a bit oblivious to it. That's another funny thing too, like they're them just being so completely unaware of like the whole situation at the start. I like it too. The first like zombie reveal, right? It's the girl Mary, in their backyard, and it's like that slow reveal. It's like, oh man, like this is it. This is the moment. This is the zombie moment, where things shift and they start taking it seriously. But the joke is like Sean just thinks she's drunk, and that's another small thing too. I like a lot of Sean, or Simon Pegg, like the mannerisms he has, just like the faces he does, like little small things he'll do with his hands. um but yeah, that's a funny moment too. His delivery, he's like, she's so drunk. I don't know, it's cute in a way. And then there's another one too where because there's a recurring joke about them leaving the front door open, and on the news they're being warned. Oh. I knew that was gonna happen. I saw it slipping. There you go. Yeah, but there's a joke about yeah, about them leaving the door open, and then on the news it says, "Hey, make sure to lock up." Oh, I wonder how that's gonna affect it. There we go. Better. Weird. Um, yeah. So, cut into the chase. Zombie walks through the door, and like the little scared expression Sean makes, he like kind of puts his like hands up and like screams. It's very Muppet-esque, I thought, but very funny. But I mean, again, like I said, just like endlessly humorous, and like this is like still only the beginning, right? And there's like so many jokes coming at you so fast, and like so well timed and like executed. I mean, it's kind of hard not to like, even if like you would say like, oh, I don't like this movie. It's really hard not to appreciate it. I mean, especially if you're like a fan of film, and whether it be horror, comedy, and stuff. Like, there's a lot to get out of this movie. Obviously, like the red on you joke, that one gets repeated quite often. More jokes with the editing I like is whenever Sean is coming up with a plan to just like to fix everything, right? Because that's his main thing. And again, with like the seriousness, it's sort of about a guy who isn't really taking control of his life, and he finally does by the end of the movie, but only through this like really extreme like outward force. Like that's when he like finally starts like taking control of things, because I mean, he is like essentially like the leader of the group, right? He's the one who takes command. He's the one who like makes the choices, and like does most of the work and like heavy lifting to like get everybody safe. I mean, so again, just like a very good character, and that's like treated with a lot of respect, I'd say. Um, but yeah, just like all the characters have like dignity to them. You know what I mean? Even like Ed, like obviously he's like a bit of a sloth and like a fuck up, but he has his moments, and at the end of it, he's like there for a reason, right? There's just like support for Shaun, uh, even though like Shaun like calls him out at one point. Uh, Again, they just have like a really strong friendship for reasons, I guess, like outside of just being like useful to each other, right? Like it is more about just like finding enjoyment with their company, or them finding enjoyment in each other's company. So it's very pure in that way. Uh, yeah, I feel like I could talk about this for a minute, but coming in on like 11 minutes. Um, I don't know. It's weird because I like again like I could talk about this for a while, but man, it's just watch the movie, right? Just watch it and rewatch it. It's so enjoyable, so funny. I guess another really good joke I like too. I'll talk about that. Again, like I mentioned at the beginning, like the humor and like some of it being like slapstick. Very like there's like a lot of just like really like funny visual stuff going on. Like obviously with like them attacking the zombies, like he has the little what is it like little ball. I always forget what that sport's called. What is it, like T-ball or something like that? I don't know, but it's like a little ball attached to a pole, and he's trying to fight a zombie with it, and he like hits him with the ball. Like for some reason, like oh yeah, that's a good idea, and he just does it, and he's confused on why it doesn't work. He's like huh, and then obviously Liz and Dee in the background, they're like like telling him to like stab the zombie, so he does that. Obviously, like another reoccurring joke between like Hot Fuzz and World's End is like the fence jumping. And this one again with like another like Simon Pegg or like Shaun mannerism. He's like never taken a shortcut before. He like does like a thing with his lip. That's also like he's trying to be slick. You know what I mean? Because like obviously there's like that little like I don't know what you would call it, like little manhood battle between Shaun and David. Each of them is trying to like show each other up a lot of the time, but like that's one moment where Shaun is trying to show David up. So he's trying to be all slick and like jump this fence to like prove a point, and obviously he just like falls over and then just calls everybody else, pretends it doesn't happen. Very funny. I guess more of that, right? I mean, like same scene pretty much, but whenever the mom gets attacked and like Shaun goes to her rescue, he like very comically like jumps over the fence and like does a backflip and a little roll, just stuff like that. You know what I mean? Not necessary and not very realistic for how grounded the movie is, but very funny and outlandish. Um, and then what else? Like obviously, like all the zombie stuff is really good looking. Like all the zombies are like believable enough, and they're very funny in their own regard. Like the way they portray them. Um, yeah. Again, just love this movie, adore it. But same with like Hot Fuzz, and it's weird. I mean, initially, like I wasn't really that into World's End. I was really liking it until the very end, but I mean, like through rewatches, it really grew on me. So I love that one too. But yeah, but Shaun of the Dead, right? Just really good, and then of course, fits the October theme. But yeah, so I mean, I obviously recommend, right? I feel like most people have seen this, but very good, very funny. Um, just like lots of like moment with like a lot of heart, right? Obviously at the very end, Ed turns into a zombie, but like Shaun keeps him because they're friends, right? Very sweet. But that's it for this one. I mean, like, just watch it, or just rewatch it, right? Um, watching it last night was such a joy. So I don't know, I'll probably just like rewatch it a few more times before the month ends, just because I enjoyed so much. And again with like all like the smaller like British mannerisms too. So just like funny British people, right? Haha. But that's it. Take care.